Hi everyone, this is Jason from English Out There. Just want to say thanks for reading our press release and for opening this video. Now what I'm going to do really quickly is try to explain why we think what we're doing with Viox and Facebook is a big deal in the world of English language teaching. Now most people who learn English, and there are going to be 2 billion of them in a couple of years' time, all estimates say, really want to practice their English, and they want to practice that with fluent or native speakers. Now most courses around the world are taught by non-native speakers who are not very comfortable with the language or a bit rusty or don't have much confidence. So there's a huge premium and cachet and need for English learners to practice their English with native or fluent English speakers. And the reason for this, the reason they know they need to do it, is because all the research now is telling us stuff by someone called Dr. Patricia Kuhl and Maritza Rivera Gaxiola, says that language is learnt through the socialization of language, through the emotional and contextual ties that we have with the people we use it with, and that helps us retain and use language again. But all these learners around the world who are trying to learn English on conventional courses don't get the time, and if they need to get time with someone who's an English speaker, they have to pay through the nose for it. So it's not very democratic, it's not very fair for people who are trying to improve their lives and get better jobs through high stakes testing and learning English. And so what they're doing is they're all kind of going online, and they've realized that they need to practice. And in the last few years there's been a huge sort of a leap in the number of language exchanges. So you've got, My Language Exchange, 1 million members, someone that's Fernando with a language exchange on Facebook, Shared Talk, Conversation Exchange. There's loads of them. There's Live Mocha that you've all heard of, to do with Pearson, that everyone wrote about, and there's iTalkI, who we are partners with. But they're all going online to get language exchange. But there are some problems with language exchange, which are that you've got to meet someone, you've got to schedule a time and both be there, and you've got to work out what you're going to talk about, and then you've got to make what you talk about educationally or pedagogically effective as a language learning experience. So there are all these issues, whereas all of our materials that we use, that we've created over 8 years, they all lead to, they teach you some language, and then they lead up to a conversation. So they're designed to be social learning tools. Now, if you look at the price of courses around the world, here's a British Council course in, where is it? Well, it's in India. It's let's go down here in Delhi. This is a spoken. This is a spoken English skills course, and it says it's 32 hours for 9,000 rupees. Okay, so let's look at 9,000 rupees in US dollars. Okay, 9,000 Indian rupees is 194 US dollars. That's for 32 hours with of English coaching, English training in the British Council in India. And what is the average monthly wage of someone in India? It is 25 to 30,000 a month. So you're looking at 38% of your monthly salary will go on 32 hours of English tuition. And the English tuition it's with an English teacher, of course, a native English speaker teacher that's been shipped out by the British Council, but you don't get any other extra practice time with English speakers, and you're paying 9,000 a month. Now if you look at the average monthly wage, people on the lower levels of Indian society who are trying to learn English, they survive on 5,000 a month. So they're just out of the equation in terms of getting a what's deemed to be a good English language program with a native English speaker teacher. So if you go back to our page now, what is the difference? What are we doing? We're providing tried and tested quality materials that people can self-study offline, and they're going to get 60 hours for $15 if they get a self-study course with MP3s. Works out at 25 US cents per hour. But what they're also going to get, which Facebook now enables us to do, is using Facebook and Viox with their voice channel. Once you've studied some English with our materials, you just go onto the Viox app and you can see who's online of your friends, and you just make more and more English speaking friends, and you just click on that friend and it says please join me in a voice chat here, and then they pop up here, and then you practice your English with them, and it's free. So basically this is why what we're doing with Viox on Facebook we think is a big deal, and these are the 3 basic steps that you can take to get going. Thank you for watching.